Hello, my name is Rosalie Kane and I'll be giving my persuasive speech tonight. This is my audience and they are listening because they are supporters of the global mission field and she is an elementary education major, so it's very important to her. To begin my presentation, I would like to ask what the foundation of individual and societal growth is. I know it's a big question, but I think I have the answer. And the answer is education. The spreading of the gospel is relevant to all Christians, and we should all be very interested in that. As a future teacher who has and will continue to work in the mission field, I am both knowledgeable and passionate about this topic. In my speech, I will persuade you that teaching in the mission field is not only important to spread the gospel, but to change the world itself. I will prove this point by describing the importance of spreading the gospel to Jesus, showing the secular knowledge that education changes the world, and ending with the biblical teaching of how education changes the individual. My first point is that teaching in the mission field is first and foremost about evangelism. Robert E. Coleman states in his book, The Master Plan of Evangelism, that contrary to our superficial thinking, there never was a distinction in Jesus' mind, between home and foreign missions. To Jesus, it was all world evangelism. Evangelism was not just one part of our faith. It was supposed to be acted out in every single aspect of our life. So it should also be acted out in the way that we teach children. Another quote from Coleman's book is that we need to rescue the concept of evangelism from the realm of the special or occasional. In the classroom, if you have the freedom, you should integrate your Christian faith into everything so that you can share the gospel in every part of your life. Education is known as important for changing the world, even in the secular world, which is why we Christians need to use it even more urgently to evangelize. A.K.C. Ottaway, in his book, Education and Society, states that the dual function of education corresponds to the double role an individual has to play in life, both as an individual and as a member of society. Even in the secular world, they understand how important it is to be an individual with your own ideas and thoughts and a member of society, and how the individual can eventually change society. And Ira Shore states in his book, Empowering Education, Critical Changing for Social Change. A teacher helps students develop their intellectual and emotional powers to examine their learning in school, their everyday experience, and the conditions in society. This proves that when children learn in school, they will continue to go up in these ways and continue to change the society that they live in. It is acknowledged even in the secular world, and it will be so much more impactful if we can teach them in the biblical way. The Bible is also a huge supporter of the importance of education. In Proverbs 22:6, it says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it." When you train a child in a certain way, they will continue to go in that way. You can see that when a child is raised in a moral and Christian home, that they will either continue in the path of following Jesus, or they will have more of a moral compass to follow. If a child is raised in a secular or confused home, they will begin to follow a confused path, and they will not know where they're going, and they will turn to debauchery and hedonism, typically, in our today society. In Proverbs 4:13, it says, "How much better it is to get wisdom than gold. To get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver." The Bible values knowledge over money because you can use it in more ways. You can use it to change your own fate, or you can use it to change society to better it. To summarize my presentation, global missions education of people is important because it was highly valued by Jesus, it is known to be important to society in the secular world, and the Bible supports the education of the individual. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.